This is eMac2411 on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. With new details on Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon's heated argument backstage in WWE. Okay, let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. Okay. Well, the timing of Brock Lesnar attending the UFC 184 pay-per-view on Sunday night has a lot of people in the industry talking, especially considering the fact that Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon had a big blow-up at Monday Raw that led to Lesnar walking out during the show. As far as the blow-up is concerned, there are still not a lot of details regarding the situation. We can, however, report that whatever happened between Lesnar and Vince McMahon has something to do with negotiating a new WWE contract and deal. And that things got so bad that both were said to be overheard loudly yelling at each other to the point that some people became concerned, especially for McMahon. Those who could hear the argument noted that it sounded really bad. Now, Lesnar is friends with Tony Ferguson, a UFC heavyweight lightweight contender who fought in the pay-per-view opener on Saturday night. In fact, Lesnar was Ferguson's coach on The Ultimate Fighter back in 2011. According to UFC President Dana White, Lesnar just happened to be in town, as that's the explanation he gave for Lesnar being at the show. However, it's pretty obvious that Lesnar is playing the game in terms of negotiations, in an attempt to get the best offer for his services. You know, the best money. Can he get more than $5 million? Well, no one seems to know what Lesnar's issue is with WWE's new contract offer. It's worth pointing out that there have been a lot of talent that have gotten offers from WWE recently that included a lot of weird stipulations, including extended non-competes and verbal agreements being made that end up being completely different than what ends up being written to be physical contracts. Now, it will be interesting to see what happens at the March 9th edition of Raw, which is next week. Today's March 2nd, because that's going to be the next show that Lesnar is being advertised to attend. Now, at the WWE SmackDown television tapings this past Tuesday night, things regarding Lesnar were so bad that the WWE writers actually asked McMahon if they should write a backup version of WrestleMania 31, one that wouldn't include Lesnar in any way, shape, or form. Now, McMahon replied with a firm no, and insinuated that he would sue Lesnar if he didn't work the show. Now, if Lesnar does not work the remainder of his current deal with WWE, he would likely be in breach of contract, unless there are known extenuating circumstances. Now, this was all according to F4W Online, too, by the way. By the way, the link to source proof in the description of this video. Now, okay, we all know he turned up. He was there. The UFC 184 pay-per-view with Dana White and I forgot the other guy's name. Sitting cage side or ringside or whatever you want to call it. It was just a game he was playing with WWE, saying that, you know, the best offer that he can go to UFC whenever he wants. Guys, I mean, Brock Lesnar just does whatever he wants, you see? Brock Lesnar just does whatever he wants, that's the thing. He doesn't care what you say. He's gonna do it anyways. Now, Vince McMahon, he's got it. They can't lose Brock Lesnar, and it would be stupid if they let Brock Lesnar go. Because he ended The Undertaker's undefeated WrestleMania streak last year in WrestleMania 30 in 2014, 21-1. First loss ever, okay? 21 straight wins that we had, okay? We all know. With Paul Heyman, the one behind the one, okay? We get it. Now, tell me, why would Vince McMahon or Karen to make a decision like that? Why would he make a decision like that? To make a guy that's a part-timer, that doesn't give a shit about the business, just wants to beat people up, destroy them, show up, freaking leave, get his money, get his paycheck, get his royalties, get his merchandise, sells and that he doesn't give two shits. Because what was the point of someone breaking the streak? I don't think the streak should have. I do not. In case you didn't hear me, I do not think the streak should have been broken. And if anyone did break it, it shouldn't have been Brock Lesnar. Because I always wanted to see Sting versus The Undertaker. With the streak on the line, but guess what? I'm not going to see that fucking more. Are we even going to be able to see Sting versus The Undertaker just in a normal match? Maybe next year. Are we going to have The Rock versus Brock Lesnar next year to sell? I mean, he needs to resign just because of that fact. Okay, he's the WWE World Champion all the time. They pushed him every time how they've sold him. And he's defeated Triple H, John Cena, CM Punk, The Big Show, Undertaker, Seth Rollins. I mean, he's just got to resign just because of the fact of the streak. Now, if he didn't do that, I wouldn't give two shits. Go, leave, fucker. I don't care, but because of that, I mean, it's supposed to benefit the guy. It's supposed to make him the next big star or something that you're going to be like, oh shit, he did that? No way. That's with Brock Lesnar, not Brock Lesnar. I mean, I didn't expect him to win it. I honestly was shocked. But yeah, he's going to be facing Bray Wyatt probably this year. He is going to be facing Bray Wyatt this year. Rumors of his career being on the line instead of the streak. We'll see what happens. But Brock Lesnar, I mean, okay. Okay, so I don't get the contract, what they're talking about, the non-compete. I don't even get that. But what is Brock Lesnar's issue with the WWE? Think about it. He's getting $5 million, the highest paid guy. No one even comes close. The next highest paid guy is John Cena with $3 million a year. I mean, the WWE Superstars, what they do, they get paid very little compared to any other sports. Check out UFC boxing, basketball, football. They get, yeah, will he even show up anymore? Has he left? Has he walked out? He hasn't walked out. But I mean, you never know with Brock Lesnar. I mean, is he even going to show up? I mean, maybe I think he should show up tonight to miss that date that he had. So he shows up tonight to replace that date with Paul Heyman, because we have no build. I mean, they're not even at. I mean, they went face to face once, and that was on the Snowden Raw in WWE Studios, or headquarters, or something like that. That was the night after Raw Rumble. Jenny was saying we had that interview in, you know, maybe 10 minutes. That's all they've had. The only time they've been in the same room or ring, yeah, same room together, same place. We have no build. I mean, we're 4 Monday Night Raws away, and he's not even going to show up tonight. That's going to leave us with 3. I mean, Roman Reigns, though, what would be the new WrestleMania 31 main event? Is Seth Rollins going to cash in? Are they going to strip him? In the tournament, I don't even know. But Roman Reigns will for sure get a shot. I mean, what doesn't he like about his WWE current deal, his contract right now? He's getting the money, he's getting everything he wants, he has a title, he's the guy, he's main eventing pay-per-views, he doesn't even have to show up, limited dates, a few fights a year, a few matches, a few appearances. Yeah, that's going to be it. So the link to source of proof, indeed, of course, in the description of this video, like always. So yeah, see you two, peace out later, and nice drops, thanks for the support, and see like this video, share this video all over the entire internet, on Facebook, on Twitter, comment with your thoughts and your opinions, and subscribe.